Hello all of you. In the previous lecture, we have studied the IP security, what are the benefits and how what are the applications of IP security and why exactly useful while communication between the client and server. So in today's lecture, we are going to see EH and ESP protocol. So how exactly these protocols can be used and what kind of things come under this protocol. So let's start with this IP security EH and ESP protocol. So in the previous lecture, we reach up to IP security architecture. So this IP security architecture consists of the ESP protocol, that is the encapsulated security payload, and AH protocol, that is a authentication protocol. So in that protocols, both are having the algorithm. So ESP protocol and ESP protocol having the both algorithm, that is the encryption algorithm as well as authentication algorithm, and AH protocol is having the only authentication algorithm. From that it goes to the DOI, and from the DOI is go to the key management. So how exactly key get managed between these protocols? So while transmitting the data from client to server, so it maintains the key in between that, so that key should be known to both client and server, or sometime only the receiver and transmitter. So for that purpose, the encryption algorithm is very useful, as well as the data should be authentic. So let's start with the protocols. So network layer protocol. So first IP security, it uses the two protocols. That is, first is authentication protocol using a authentication header. Okay, that is use the authentication header into the packet. And encryption or authentication protocol called the encapsulating security payload, that is short form is ESP. So these two protocols are used for the IP security. So there are two modes of operation. So first is the transport mode. So it provides the protection for upper layer protocols. Okay, it provides the protection for upper layer protocol, and the tunnel mode protect the entire IP datagram. Okay, so I hope you will understand very small point on this two mode of operation. We are going in a detail through the next slides. So first we will see IPsec protocol, that is first authentication header protocol. So it is defined in RFC 1826, and integrity, yes, including the IP header. So where exactly this authentication header is included? So it is included in a IP header. Okay. Now authentication is available. Yes, it provides the authentication. Non-repudiation depends on the cryptography algorithm. Okay, so repudiation is depends on the whatever the algorithm is used in the cryptography. And does it provide the encryption? Obviously no. If you go into the architecture of IP security, you can see the arrow only is given to the authentication, when a authentication header is providing only authentication, not providing the encryption. And it replaces the protection, replay the protection. So how exactly? So it has shown both modes, transport packet mode and tunnel packet mode. So the transport packet layout, it provides the IP header and AH header, and remaining part is a payload. So it is using the TCP or UDP protocol. So where exactly authentication header? So it is available in here. So now what happened exactly? Tunnel packet layout. In a tunnel packet layout, it is inbuilt between the IP header and both the IP headers, and in between the authentication header is available, and remaining part is payload of TCP and UDP. Okay, so this is how the AH protocol is. Now we will see the ESP protocol, that is called as encapsulation security payload. So it is defined in RFC 1827. Integrity is yes. Okay, so it is integrated into the packet. Authentication depends on the cryptography algorithm. So does it provide the authentication or not? It is depend on a cryptography algorithm. Does it provide the non-repudiation? No, it is not providing. Now encryption, yes, encryption is available because even name indicate that encapsulating or encryption security payload and the replay protection. Now you can see here similarly, like a transport packet layout. So in the first mode, in a transport mode, the IP header, after that ESP header is present, and then it includes the payload. But in a tunnel packet layout, so IP header, ESP header, and then IP header. So in between ESP header is provided. So this first part is unencrypted. After providing, the next part will be the encrypted. Okay, so this is how the ESP protocol works. What protocol to use? Now there will be the question in your mind, when or which protocol we can use. Okay, so for that purpose, so first we will see what is the difference between the AH and ESP. So ESP provide encryption. Okay, in ESP provide encryption, but AH does not provide the encryption. That we have already seen the architecture of the IP security, that only encryption is provided by the ESP. AH provide integrity of the IP header, ESP does not. Okay, so it provides the integrity of the IP header, but ESP does not provide the integrity of the IP header. And authentication header can provide the non-repudiation, but ESP header does not provide the non-repudiation. So however, we don't have to choose, since both the protocol can be used in together. So there is no need of choose which protocol shall we use. So both the protocols can be, or it can be used at a time. Why have two protocols? So there will be the question in your mind, why you are using these two protocols then? If you are using them combined, so why should not make them one protocol? Okay, why we are going for the two protocols? For some countries have a strict law of encryption. Okay, some countries have strict law of encryption. If you can't use encryption in those countries, H still provide the good security mechanism. So the two protocol ensures wide acceptance of IP security in the internet. Okay, because what happened, because authentication header protocol does not provide the encryption, but some countries are strictly follow the encryption. So for that countries, there should need a IP security. So those countries can use the ESP, that is the encapsulation security protocol or payload. Okay, so these two protocols can provide the wide acceptance over the IP security. Now here is the data integrity or confidentiality. So you can see here the authentication header, so MD5 and SHA-1. So there are authentication header is provided, and when you send the data over the internet, so it will be sent over the encryption, or we can say the authentication. Okay, now you can see here the encapsulated. So first packet, okay, suppose this is the data, this data is encapsulated. Okay, encapsulated means it is covered by the another. Suppose I am sending one letter. Okay, no one can see that letter. What I will do, I will cover that letter with another envelope. So that is called as encapsulation. Similarly, when I am sending my data, that is covered by the another cover, we can say another data, that is encapsulated, and that is sent over the internet. Okay, that is a authenticated internet or authenticated communication, that is encrypted. Okay, that is get encrypted over here with the key. Okay, whatever the data is provided with is encrypted, and then it is sent to the sender. Okay, with the signed data. So this is how the difference between the AH and ESP. Okay, in the AH there is no encapsulation. Okay, but here encapsulation, or we can say encryption, is provided, but in authentication header encryption is not provided. Now what kind of algorithm use? So encryption, in encryption there is a symmetric, as a IP packet may arrive out of order, and symmetric algorithm are incredible slow. Example, DES, that is a data encryption standards. Okay, so that is how the IPsec protocol encryption, these IP packets arrive out of order. Okay, so that is how the asymmetric algorithm is slow. Now what happened in authentication? In authentication, MAC, that is a message authentication code based on a symmetric encryption algorithm is used. So one way hash function, that is MD5 or SHA-1 function can be used. Now we will see the transport versus tunnel mode. So we have seen there are two modes can be used. First is the transport mode and another is the tunnel mode. So we will see how exactly these two mode can be operated in a different operations. So first we will see the transport mode. It is used to peer-to-peer communication security. Okay, it is used to peer-to-peer communication security, and the data is encrypted. Okay, so data is encrypted over here. Data is encrypted and used to peer-to-peer. But now in the tunnel mode, it is used to site communication security. Okay, site communication security, and entire packet is encrypted. Keep in mind what is the difference between transport mode and tunnel mode. In the tunnel mode, entire packet is encrypted, and in transport mode only the data is encrypted. Okay, now in the transport mode is used when the cryptography endpoint are also the communication endpoint of the secured IP packets. Okay, keep in mind in a transport mode used when the cryptographic endpoint are also the communication endpoint of the secured IP packet. So means what? Suppose I want to send the data from A to B. So B is what? The cryptographic endpoint or the endpoint of the communication, means wherever I want to send the data, that is my last point. Okay, so it is over the internet and I am sending the packet from in the both direction, from A to B or B to A. Okay, now the cryptographic endpoints, the entities that generate, process an IP security header. So these are nothing but what? Cryptographic endpoint. And who generate the IP security header? So both the protocol, AH or ESP protocol. So they generate the IP security header. So communication endpoint is nothing but what? Source and destination of the IP packet. So this whatever the, suppose my PC and my friend's PC, these are nothing but what? Communication endpoint. Okay, so these cryptography endpoints and communication endpoints are the same. Now here we will see now tunnel mode. In the tunnel mode is used when at least one cryptographic endpoint is not a communication endpoint of the secured IP packet. Okay, what? The at least one cryptographic endpoint is not the communication endpoint of the secured IP packet. Okay, so these are, okay, RA and RB, these are nothing but the routers. These are two routers. These are nothing but what? These are the cryptographic endpoint. Okay, these are nothing but the cryptographic endpoint. So this should not be at least the communication endpoint. So whatever the communication endpoint, this A and B, these are the communication endpoint. So source A and destination is RB. Suppose I want to send data from source A. What is the endpoint? RB or destination, and this IP header gives. After security, IP header is source A is providing the data to B after the IP security header. So data will be here up to here, and from here it will be provided by the IP security or source A to destination B, and remaining is the protected data. So here I have shown very clean diagram of the transport mode and tunneling mode. So you can see in the transport mode, from A to B, I can directly send the data. So encrypted TCP session, encrypted TCP session. So I can directly send internal network, external network from A to B. And now in the tunneling mode, suppose I want to send from A to this is A, and suppose this is B. I want to send the data from A to B. So here is a corporate network, then internet, through internet, encrypted tunneling, carrying the IP packet, IP traffic. Okay, so all these are nothing but the encrypted tunnels, and goes to the another corporate network, and then the data is reached. Okay, so there is a difference between this transport mode and tunneling mode. So this happen with the all networks. Now how IP security works? So in the phase 1, internet key exchange is used to set up the IP security. Okay, internet key exchange is used to set up a IP security. So that is one key that is used while transmitting the data. Now we will see what happened first in IP or internet key exchange in a phase 1. So first, establish a secure authenticated channel between two computers. So this is very important. First, provide the establishment of or provide a secure and authenticated channel between A and B, that is your two PCs. Authentication and protect the identities of the peer. Okay, so the identities and authentication should be protected from peers, means whatever the two destination, they don't know their uh, authentication. So negotiate what SA policy to use. So whatever the that association policies that can be used, that can be negotiated. Perform an authenticated share secret key exchange. Okay, so now whatever the keys, now I'm sending the data, what kind of key I am using, that key must know to the destination also. So there is a need to share that key also. For that purpose, perform that operation of sharing the authenticated key, or we can simply say exchange of the key. Now set up a secure tunnel for phase 2. Set up a secure tunnel for phase 2. Now here from the phase 2 will start. So two modes, main mode or aggression mode. So it can be used in a two modes, main mode or aggression mode. Now what happen in a main mode internet key exchange? So in main mode of internet key exchange, negotiate the algorithm and hashes, generate share secret key using a Diffie-Hellman exchange. So there is one exchange algorithm. So first we'll generate the key. Okay, if you want to share that key, that is need to be generated. So if you go into the digital communication, we have see the linear code, circular code, block code. So in that codes we can generate the different keys. Okay, or the Huckman code we can, for that. Likewise here is a Diffie-Hellman exchange. So for by using that we can generated the one key, and that verification of identity. So first we need to verify both source and destination. Now what happen in aggressive mode of IKE? The squeezes all negotiation, key exchange, etc into the less packets. Okay, so whatever the keys and everything is squeezed into the small packet. So what is the advantage of that? So less network traffic and faster than main mode. So if we squeeze the packet in a smaller size, so the transmission is fast, as well as there is a less traffic in the network. But what is the disadvantages of that? So information exchange before a secure channel is created vulnerable to the snipping. Okay, so what happened here? The information exchange before the secure channel is created. So the secure channel is not created before that, we can generating the or information is exchange. Now what happened in the phase 2? So an AH or ESP packet is then sent using the agreed upon main SA during the IKE phase 1. Okay, in the IKE phase 1, the data is or packet can be sent over the channel. Now what happened in a phase 2? In a phase 2, negotiation of IPsec SA parameter, establish IPsec security association for a specific connection like FTP, Telnet, and okay. So first what it can does, so it it established the IP security association for specific connections like what, file transfer protocol or a telnet protocol. Okay, like a routers communication. So renegotiate IPsec SS periodically. So it will periodically it will renegotiate with the IPsec, and optionally perform an additional Diffie-Hellman exchange. Okay, so it keeps providing or performing the additional Diffie-Hellman exchange. Now how exactly the IP security communication will happen? So once phase 2 has established an SA for a particular connection, all traffic on that connection is communicated using the SA, and IKE phase 1 exchange using UDP port 500. Okay, so user datagram protocol can be used and port number 500 can be used. So what AH uses? uses the protocol port 51, and ESP uses the IP protocol port 51. Okay, so this is how the communication can be happen in a IP security using the AH protocol and ESP protocol. So this is how I have shown the key management. So in party 1, party 2, okay, so here party 1, so it goes to the first phase 1. Okay, after the phase 1 it generates the key, so that is the master key, and it goes to the phase 2. Okay, from the phase 2 it is go again in the party 1, that is IP security SA. Okay, that is nothing but the step 1 and step 2. Similarly, you can see here they are authenticate each other. They can authenticate each other, that I am sending the data, that is the authenticated person. Again it negotiate the algorithm of IKs, okay, in the phase 1 and step 1. So it negotiate the algorithms. Okay, so similarly in phase 2, okay, they are also negotiate the algorithm and also IPsec, and after negotiating and checking the algorithms and authentication, and then the exactly that communication will happen. Okay, so I hope we're done with this today's lecture. So remaining part of the protocols, AH protocol and ESP protocol from the IP security, so I hope you understand the things. If you are not understand or if you have any doubts, you simply message me or call me. So thank you very much for today's lecture.